Holly, how does the hype for this fight with Amanda compare to the other big ones you've had already?
Every fight is different, and every experience in the past helps prepare for your experiences going forward. And so, I do feel like this is a very different fight. It's me and Amanda. It's not me and anybody else. But some of the big, kind of being the underdog or being, some of the big fights that I've been, had before, have helped prepare me for this. It's a co-main event on a pay-per-view. It's International Fight Week, and you're up against somebody who's just got, double champ from 2 different weight classes. I mean, you can look at all these things that can make you think, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Or you can be like, you know what, this is an opportunity for me to take it and make the most of it.
Is she the best female fighter ever after beating Cyborg?
I think that each fighter I fear, and I don't ever look at one fighter and think like that is the best. I think some have ups and downs, and some can be on a winning streak for a while, and some can really leave a legacy behind, by the time they're done with their career. But I don't ever label anybody like that.
Would beating her be a bigger win than beating Ronda Rousey back in the day?
I think that beating her is the biggest thing for me right now, because that's what now is. Beating Ronda was 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago. So I don't ever look at that like I'm not living on that moment for the rest of my life. Was it a great moment in my life? It was, but it's not something that I'm living for right now. If I was still stuck in that time, that means that I would have not gotten any better over these 3 years. I'm a totally different fighter than I am now. So is Amanda, and this is a totally different fight.
It's funny, we were just talking about that on UFC Now the other day, and it was kind of like the question was, what does Holly need to do to make sure that that moment isn't the only thing people talk about for the rest of her life? So what do you think that is?
To keep winning. I don't mind that people talk about that moment. Here's why. I always felt in my life like I want to do something that literally shocks the world.
Done that.
So that's what people remember more. That doesn't mean that they don't think that I did anything else in my career. It's just something that's stuck in their head that much. So that's why I don't mind that people remember it, because that's how much it made an impact. That's what made me known when it wasn't as, So, yes, it was a big moment, but that, then later it's like, oh, we know she's already done this, so there's not the shock factor as much going forward from that. There's no way to have that much of a shock factor. So I think that's the difference, is that maybe that shock factor.
Did it make